And then look at all these seagulls. They've taken over this dock. Keuka. I think that's how it's pronounced. This is the south end of it. And there's a replica of the June bug. This is where Glenn Curtis first flew off this lake. His first airplane. 1911 through 1916, Wings Over the Water. Beginning in 1911, Glenn Curtis test flew his pioneering seaplanes and flying boats from this beach. By 1911, Curtis had already built a working seaplane that made water takeoffs and landings on pontoons. But the secret to making a successful flying boat was finding the right shape for the hull. During the warm season of each year at Hammondsport, the beach in front of you was alive with activity as Curtis developed and tested a new flying boat designs. Glenn finally solved the hull design problem during the summer of 1912, and by 1913 was building and selling his Model E, the world's first flying boat. The United States Navy watched Glenn's experiments with great interest and soon hired him to help create a fledgling naval aviation program. In 1911, Curtis trained the Navy's first pilots and built the Navy's first seaplane. Just 3 years later, he introduced the America, the world's first twin-engine flying boat. This technically advanced aircraft was designed to carry its crew of 2 across the ocean. Glenn Hammond Curtis, father of naval aviation. Born May 21st, 1878 in Hammondsport, New York. Died July 23rd, 1930 in Buffalo, New York. Buried July 25th, 1930 in Hammondsport, New York. 1907, fastest man on Earth. 1908, Hammondsport, Center of American Aerial Activity. 1908, the first officially witnessed flight of 1 kilometer. 1909, won Gordon Bennett Trophy for speed, Reims, France. 1910, won $10,000 prize for Albany to New York City flight. 1910, first takeoff from a U.S. Navy ship. 1911, issued pilot's license number 1. 1911, first U.S. Navy aeroplane, Curtiss A-1. 1912, developed the flying boat. 1914, rebuilt and tested the Langley's Aerodrome. 1915, Curtiss Aeroplane and Motor Company, the world's largest manufacturer of aeroplanes in the U.S. 1919, Curtiss Navy NC-4 made the first Atlantic crossing by air. In 1930, Curtiss made his last flight at the controls of a Curtiss Condor. These seagulls are all hunkered down. That's the waterfront of the village beyond. See, the seagulls have been hanging out here too. You got to watch your step. You got to tiptoe through the poop. All right, here it is. Beautiful lake, glacial lake. And there's a model of his plane, a pontoon boat that flew from this very spot. Oh, look, the sun's coming in. That's good. Glad to see that. It was kind of foggy this morning. They got a picnic area here, covered picnic area, and the swimming dock. And this is looking back towards downtown of the village of Hammondsport, New York. Okay, I'm on the east shoreline of Keuka Lake. You got a little bank squeezed in between these two identical buildings. No, they're not quite identical. Downtown Pyongyang. I think this guy's running a chop shop here. Look at this guy. Or this skeleton hanging by his feet. How about you, M&Ms? There's an M&M drill sergeant. Holy mackerel. Look at this. 82nd Airborne veteran cart. Look at this. It's pretty neat. Colorful Adirondack chairs. And this lady's all dressed up and she's got a little pet owl with her. Burkett Mills. Here's right here. This says, of note, this is the original grill used to make the world record pancake. Burkett Mills Buckwheat Harvest Festival. I call these Empire style buildings. Yeah, this is the top of the Burkett Mills. Do you want to build a scarecrow? That funny noise is the crosswalk. Look at that building. I think the murals need to be retouched. There's the police department here. These little rocks with eyes. Be a mama with babies. Another one. This is a nice little park. And look at some of these houses over here. Look at that flag popping. The wind has picked up. The front has gone through. What's this guy doing with this pole? Is he going to toss it? Yes, he did. Why, it's a college. And I haven't seen any students walking around. Wonder why it's so quiet. Well, I've been to Geneva, Switzerland. Now it's time to check out Geneva, New York. William Smith, is that what it is? William Smith College. And what a lovely old building this one is. Smith's Opera House, okay. This is some kind of church. Smith's Opera House. E. Booth. Would that be John Wilkes Booth's father? Look, it's the YMCA building. It's the Hogwaller Tavern. And here's another one of those WPA post offices. See, they have sculpture gathering wheat, the airplanes. And this is the WPA Eagle. That was the relief agency that funded all of these during the Great Depression. And I don't know what this one is, but it's interesting. They've got the place torn up. There's City Hall. It's pretty much ripped up. Not to fear. Pumpkin beer is here. Look at that flag. It's caught on the pole, the tip of it. It's a lonesome balloon wanting to be free. This is a former military base. I think it was a World War II submarine training base. Welcome to Sampson State Park. Sampson Military Base opened after the attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941 as a naval base for World War II, and was opened through the Korean War as an Air Force base, officially closing in 1956. Became a state park in 1960. During World War II, 411,000 Navy recruits trained at Sampson, and during the Korean War, over 300,000 Air Force recruits received basic training. The base functioned as a small city containing 498 training and administrative buildings, roads, rail lines, infrastructure for sewage, water, utility buildings, 300 dwelling units, and dormitories. Everything one needed could be found on the base, from a fire department, multiple churches, stores, theater, drill fields, and mess halls. There's the Navy guys. And here's an aerial photo of it. Look what it looked like. Wow, look at that. There's a lot of forest now. The trees have grown up. The base was named after Rear Admiral William T. Sampson, who was born nearby in Palmer, New York. Sampson received acclaim for his victories in the Spanish-American War, and today multiple schools and awards and 4 Navy destroyers have been named in his honor. Sampson Military Base played a key role in preparing our nation's troops for combat. And this sign is dedicated to the brave men and women who served our country. There's a parade ground. Some of the barracks. Please enjoy the Military History Multiple Use Trail during your visit. As you ride along, look at the sites on either side of the trail for an informational cell phone tour. Afterwards, visit the Military Museum to expand your knowledge of the base. Seneca Lake. This is the north end, looking towards the north end of it. The dogs are gone, the ducks are back. This is the summertime swimming area. Got a little beach, lifeguards. Look at this weeping willow tree. Willow, weep for me. A park where kids can ride the bicycles, romp around and play. Let's do a panorama of Seneca Lake. This is from the south, looking south. I don't know the dimensions of this lake, but I heard it was 500 feet deep. I'm guessing this is a pavilion. And here's the marina. Flying a kite at sunset. This is a good lake to sail on or houseboat on. You can't get lost. Jet skis, that's what they're called. Look at this houseboat, I like that. This is the entrance to the marina. And I guess that's where you buy the fuel at over there at this store. Meanwhile, the kite is still flying. The sun is sinking lower and lower, soon to be underneath the cloud layer there. Over Lake Seneca, October the 10th. The sunset is happening. Look at the leaves. This is a Marine Patrol, two 200 horsepower engines on it. Seneca Lake at sunset. It's so quiet down here. The campground is noisy. Here it's just the lapping of the water. No boats are out and about. The wind has certainly died down from this afternoon. There were whitecaps all over the lake. As calm as can be now. All kinds of haints and ain'ts. The city that war built. This is Sampson State Park now. Between 1942 and 1943, 2,535 acres of fields, woodlots, and quiet lakeshore dotted with summer cottages were transformed into the Sampson Naval Training Station, the second largest base of its kind in the U.S. During 3.5 years 411,429 recruits were prepared for duty in World War II. The size of a small city, Sampson was divided into 5 similar training units, each with 14-acre parade ground and drill fields surrounded by buildings. Each unit operated independently and trained 5,000 men at a time. Most military buildings have been removed. The camp office, however, was originally a warehouse at the east end of Unit F. From 1946 to 1949, Sampson served as a 2-year college for veterans returning from war. In 1950, the facility became Sampson Air Force Base to train airmen during the Korean War. Sampson State Park was created in 1960.